on, baby. Hey guys, when you guys hop in, go ahead and let me know where you guys are coming from. You know, what state, how's the weather. It's pretty nice here in Ohio. Just having some time with the boys. Hayden's upstairs playing in his room. And Nico's in the pack and play. And yeah. Hey Abby. How you doing today, girl?
Hey.
Hello, my love.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I hear my favorite band in the background. Is that neat?
Yes, it is.
I didn't even check my face. I'm sorry. I look nuts right now.
I feel it. And I actually have my hair down this time.
Oh, I've mom live, so we get to be open and honest about what we're doing, what we look like while we do it, right?
Yes. But normally my hair.
It is not pretty sometimes, moms. If you're a mom in here, put it in the comments. Put a heart in the comments and let them know it's not easy to look good and do this shit.
No. That's why half the time, and I know all the moms will agree, you literally have a mom bun, and that's what we call it. We call it our mom bun. Because then it's
Absolutely.
face, we got laundry to do, we got kids to take care of, we got lunches to make. It's like you don't want all of this in the way.
I have developed. It pauses the message. I developed this. I wish I could do it in front of the camera right now, but I can like pull my hair up. I don't even need a hair tie. I carry one everywhere, but like I can put my hair on without a hair tie.
See, and I always have the hair tie and the squad. Always.
That's it. You gotta always, girls. If you have a hair tie on your wrist, all times, put it in the comments. This is crazy, right? I always have one.
Same.
Yeah. Never know when it might be pulled up.
Right?
I got my represented.
Yeah.
Big strong, baby.
So, yeah.
So why'd you want to do this live, Rachel?
Well, if we're being honest, we're going to be, real honest. We're all moms, because that's what I feel like we should do.
Yeah.
The reason I honestly wanted
being a mom isn't easy, right?
Right. Like, I'm actually a first-time mom. Nico is 1. He just turned 1 last April, and the reason I wanted to do this live personally, even though I got the mommy hot mess deal, is I'm going to reach out to all the other moms, like the ones that don't have the support, like other ones. So where, like, me personally, I can understand and kind of relate because I didn't have support. My husband, he has cerebral palsy. He only has his left arm, which is functional. The right one's kind of like this, and he can't really do much with it. And so I've literally had to raise Nico by myself. And, my mom, she's just on a whole different level. She's not ready to be, grandma. My dad, let's be honest, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to be real. My dad's been a piece of shit my whole life. He didn't want to be in his grandson's life. So, and I actually gave him 2 months before I gave birth to Nico to show to me that he was going to put the effort in to be a grandson. He didn't even bother. He's like, you know what, it's fine. Fuck it. My kid's going to be happy with or without you. You know what I mean? Like, my kid's not going to suffer because his grandpa chooses not to be there.
Man, it's hard when you don't have family to be there with you. I mean, for me, I made the decision after my first year of college to move down here to Ohio, 9 hours away from my family. And when I ended up having my 2 boys, they're 9 hours away, so there's only so much they can do. There's only so many trips we can make back and forth. They can't babysit. like I don't. And after I split up with my ex after 9 years, I couldn't go to his family for anything. Obviously, they don't like me still, like, you
Mhm.
know? So it's tough, especially like shout out to single moms out here. It can be really hard, ladies. So pat yourself on the back. Seriously. Sometimes, like I was telling Courtney a few minutes ago, she's having a day and a half, and I was like, you know what? Go take an hour, 2 hours for yourself. Go lay down somewhere, put a cool cloth over your face, shut the world out, get in a quiet zone and just chill the hell out because sometimes we got to step back from taking care of everybody and take care of
Mhm.
ourselves for a few minutes
Yes,
or we'll go nuts. You'll start
exactly.
getting gray hair like this. Like you'll start like eating your depression. Like depression can develop.
Mhm.
Like you'll eat because you don't know what else the hell to do, and plus you're gonna eat bad because you don't want to spend 20 hours grocery shopping and
Right.
trying to figure out a healthy meal. So you're just grabbing the quickest thing that there is.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to find a balance.
Mhm.
And you have to take that time. And Abby, you're absolutely right. As a mom and you have that long hair, those babies will pull the hell out of it. I was over there last night holding Neek, going like, "Hey,
Yeah.
give me my hair back, Neek. Give it back."
Yeah. It's exactly what happened. And definitely, like, it's hard too, because sometimes, like I said, with some women, they kind of have like they feel bad because they put their child down. And I've literally, when I look at it, and I'll tell them, if you want some advice, I'm here. Honestly, it's okay to put your kid down. Like with Nico, when he was younger, I actually used to put him down a lot because literally daddy always works, so it's literally just me. It's literally a shock to your system when it's your first child. And me,
It
it
is.
literally like flipped my whole world around. Like I was not ready. Like I used to babysit kids, my sister, I helped raise her, my cousins. No, like it ain't shit until you actually have a kid.
And you're doing it where you feel like it's mostly your effort going into them. It's hard. Oh my gosh, I wish my phone was up. People, stop calling me, stop messaging me just for a little bit. Okay, so much freezing. But yeah, I know you wanted to talk about being a going into motherhood tonight, being a first time mom, becoming a mommy. So, it does though. It really changes your life around. I know when I first found out I was pregnant for Noah, my oldest, I can't even remember how old I was. I think I was like 24,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere down there. And it shocked the living hell out of me because I just graduated from my first college with a horse degree. My plan was to work up north in the summertime, up in the northern states, and then go to the beach states in the wintertime. And I was just going to travel and work with horses all over the world. And I had a trip. I had accepted a job out in Glacier National Park, Montana, and literally the night before my flight, I found out I was pregnant. Like I took the actual test and was like it was positive. So I clearly couldn't just cancel the trip. I went out west and it was really hard work. I was working as a cowgirl in Montana, you know what I mean? So we had to hike up mountains, we had to do trail maintenance, we were cutting trees down, picking up rocks and
Mm-hmm.
smashing them, like digging holes, like really physical labor.
Yeah.
And I did that for 3 months before I was actually I was bucked off of a horse and I landed like on my side. And after that, I was like, you know what? I gotta stop playing around. I gotta go back home. I can't keep doing this because I don't want anything to happen
Right,
to
right.
this. Nobody knew, you know what I mean? Because I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't showing yet. And I just had to go. So I made an emergency trip back. I told him I couldn't work anymore. I took a bus trip back, which took like 3 days to get back to Ohio on a bus, Greyhound.
Yeah.
Don't ever take a Greyhound. It sucks ass. Um, but and then I got back and I didn't know what the hell to do. I didn't even like go to the doctors until I was 6 months pregnant.
Right.
I didn't tell anybody until I was like 5, 6 months pregnant. I told, obviously my ex, Adam, I told him,
Right.
but I didn't know, I was scared shitless. Because I was going to travel. I was always the one that was going to travel, not settle down, you know what I
Right.
mean? Just
Right.
live and be free. When you
Well,
have a
me
baby,
too.
that's not a
Right.
possibility.
Well, definitely
You
me too.
know?
Like, I actually want to give a shout out to all the moms who are pregnant and they don't have that support or the ability to be able to stay home while being pregnant. Because I've heard stories from other moms that they'd still be busting their ass while being pregnant. And I remember being pregnant, which was a year ago. And I remember I had days where I was just so tired. I had days where I just literally did not want to do shit because I was just so exhausted just by being pregnant. And then on top of that, you go through hormones, which are the worst, let me just say. Yeah, and then the hormones are exhausting as it is because you literally can go from you're happy, cheery to you're crying, sad to I'm gonna beat this bitch's ass. Like it's crazy. Like that's literally how
And it
it
doesn't
starts.
shut off after you, like, I feel like the hormone part, I didn't have hormones until I got pregnant. I didn't. But ever since I had my kids, they never go away, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're still there now. Like, I can't get rid of
Yeah.
them.
And then
So,
another thing, not to cut you off, but Abby just
no,
said
you're good.
my sister has had about 6 miscarriages before having my niece. She has a 21-year-old son. Now, me personally, that was my biggest fear was miscarriage. I've heard lots of different moms, they talked about how they had a miscarriage, and it's hard. And I give props to those moms who has miscarriages and they're able to, not necessarily, I don't want to say move on, but not, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard because my sister, she actually had a miscarriage. It was devastating, like devastating for her. And it gives me goosebumps still to talk about it because of how devastated she
Right,
was.
right.
And I found out when she had her miscarriage, I found out it's actually more common than you know. Like
Mhm.
it's like 1 in every 4 pregnancies is a
Yeah.
miscarriage or some crazy number like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, definitely shout out to all the moms who've had miscarriages. A big shout out. I have a good friend who has been trying to have kids. She was married for like 8 years. They were trying the whole time and she just can't have kids.
Right.
And that is in itself is
Yeah. Like
devastating,
actually, not to
So
cut you off again, but you'll get used to it.
so you're what it's for.
But Hayden actually upstairs, they told Angie that she wasn't able to have kids because she has a lot of like ovary issues, and because Abby put in the comments that her niece was the miracle baby, and that was Hayden. The doctors told her that she wasn't allowed to have kids or wasn't able to, and then poof, here's your miracle child. And I even think for me to look at it, even though I had a very good pregnancy, I had a very good, delivery and stuff. I give all those moms out there props because I couldn't even imagine going through that. Like, actually, I have a friend right now. I want to say her daughter is 6 months old, and she's already had heart surgery. And and
Wow.
of course, she recovered from it. But then you kind of look at it, and you're like, oh, like wait a minute, that could have been me. But then you also just kind of give your prayers, and you're like, you're thankful for what you do have. Like you're more grateful. Because I feel like some people are just
Absolutely.
not grateful. Mm,
It's it's hard like when people go through these tragedies like Will, he lost his son like his wife was 5 months pregnant and she ended up, not being able to carry the baby any longer and they like and he was born, he got to hold him for 2 hours before he died and to go through something like that, to go through any kind of tragedy when it comes to your kids, it's unfathom like I can't even imagine
right,
that feeling. You know what I
right.
mean? All I cared about when I was pregnant was a healthy baby. So like I was ridiculous with it. I was like I stopped chewing my nails even because of the germs in your nails. Like I didn't and I'm a nail biter. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was like growing my nails out and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Because I didn't want
Right.
anything to go wrong, you know?
Right. Well, I think it's hard too because even like in my circumstances, I've had people that would either pressure the thought of, you having a miscarriage, or, and when I say pressure, I mean every day they would remind you. And I also, another circumstance I went through was someone told me, I'm not gonna do names, but they told me that they hope and prayed every day that I lost my child. And that was hard personally for me because that was someone that was supposed to be really close to me. And like you would tell someone that, like, I don't, like, well, where are you at? You know what I mean? And I can just like, I kind of relate to other moms because they go through hard times, like, oh, they don't have the support system, they don't have other moms, and then they slip into postpartum, which is very common once you have a child. Because I even struggle with it now, which thankfully for Confianza definitely helps me out.
Right?
Yes, and it is amazing because it works
Mom,
instantly, and it's literally
absolutely.
me not go into postpartum, which is amazing.
Yes, the Confianza, everybody, moms, if you don't know what it is, it's just an organic vitamin that you can take when you're stressed the hell out, and it actually works. Like we can give you the information on how to get it, but like it's a necessity. I was just stressing out, trying to sleep on the floors, cooking dinner, taking care of the dogs, getting dishes like done, like doing all these
Right.
things before this live. And I'm like, bro, I need some confianza because I'm about to freak out on everybody. Everybody just go tell down somewhere and get out of my face.
Yes.
Seriously.
But I think every mom, like you said in the beginning, every mom should be able to take like that 5-minute mommy break or that 10-minute mommy break. Because with me personally, I enjoy my mommy breaks. Because
Who doesn't?
like it gets
Who
very, like
doesn't?
you're the first mom. So for me personally, I'm a first time mom with a 1-year-old. I just recently got married here in August. I'll be married for a year. So I'm still personally balancing taking care of Nico, taking care of myself, making sure my husband's all good and has what he needs, and taking care of the household. Like all in one. Like this is all still, it's like literally a whole new world for me. Because it's not something I'm used to.
It's a switch.
Yes.
It is.
It's literally a shock to the
It's a
system.
lot to take on at first. After you have your baby, you're like, okay. My first thought was, how the hell am I gonna feed this thing?
Right.
Like, because I wanted. Did you nurse Nico? I nursed. I wanted to nurse. I was very adamant about it.
Nope.
And I like right after I had him, they like told me to just put him there and he'll figure it out. And I just started bawling my eyes out because he didn't latch on right away. So they brought like this wet nurse up to try to like help me through because all these hormones. I just spent 2 hours in labor.
Hope's having hope.
Sorry, y'all. No, they're calling my phone. Get off my phone. I'm gonna have to start using my iPad. Dang. Um, But no, so I had spent 2 days in labor and Noah wasn't latching, so I started bawling my eyes out and I was just going through all these roller coaster of emotions that I'd never been through before. And so like we got it all figured out, but like when you're nursing and you're just trying to figure out how to make sure he has everything that he needs, you're not trying to worry about everybody else around. You know what I mean? You're like, I got this little human that I know I'm the only one that's going to be here 24/7 to take care of this child, regardless of who the dad is, what the dad is. I don't care about none of that. As a mom, I gave birth to this human being, so in my mind, it's my first responsibility. You know what I mean?
Like there's moms even now, like they don't put their kids first. They'll literally, me and Crystal actually had this conversation a couple days ago. Where I've seen moms even now that are my age. I'm 24. I have a 1-year-old. I see them literally giving them their kids to their grandparents to have them raised because they want to go out and party. Now, mind you, I was never really the partier. I did like to drink. I did like to go to the bar, shoot some pool. That was my thing. Ooh.
Right.
When I had Nico, no one was allowed to watch Nico ever. Like that is my sole responsibility, and it is hard. But at the same time, like Abby, she said a friend of mine recently had a baby girl but found out she was pregnant, that the baby was disabled like me. So I actually had that scare when I was pregnant with Nico. Not me personally, other, like my family members. Because since Chris has cerebral palsy, they thought, oh, he's going to have cerebral palsy too. And that brings me to the fact of me personally, I don't think it should matter whether, a child has a disability or even an adult. You should love everyone the same. Like my parents.
A person is a person, regardless of their body.
Like my family would literally, when I was pregnant, Nico freaked out because they were like, oh, he might have a disability. Oh, this and that. And it's like, even if my kid has a disability, I'm still going to love my kid 150%. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still going to be his mommy. Like, yeah, is it going to be hard later on teaching him different things? Yes, but I'm going to take pride in that because that is my child. You know what I mean? And even with
Absolutely.
And even like with Abby, she's an amazing woman, super smart, fucking love her to death. But
I love her too.
yeah, I lost my train of thought. Your turn.
It's that mind brain, the mom brain.
Yes.
It's scattered. Will always put that into perspective for me. He put it in a perspective that I was like, you know what? That's so true. That's how my mind works. Like, he was like, as a mom, you compartmentalize everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, right here's one thing, here's
Mhm.
another, here's another, here's another. You know what I mean? We
Mhm.
have a million things on our brain at all times, and we put them into compartments. We're like, okay, let me go into this compartment and focus on that for a minute. Okay, let me jump over here and focus on this for a minute. Because we have so many friggin' responsibilities, and I don't care what any dude or man has to say about it. As a woman, that's just how we work. We take a lot on our shoulders because we want to take care. Like, it's in our nature to take care of.
Right.
So, hey, Rachel, number 2, Ray. Or no, she's just Ray, right?
Yeah, just Ray. Thanks for popping in, though. Hopefully work will go well.
She's such a hard worker, too. Shout out to Ray. Like, girl, you are bomb.com.
Yes.
But yeah, girl, we got those compartments in our mind. As a mom, it switches on. As soon as you have that baby, you're like, okay, I got to think about bottles, diapers. I got to think about clean floors. I got to think about them not rolling over on anything.
Now we're having hope problems again.
Sorry. I can't.
But even like with the compartments, like you said, as moms, because we have that motherly instinct. Now, mind you, I had the baby shower May 25th of 2016. 17, I'm sorry. A month before I had Nico. Shit you not. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, what if I don't get my motherly instincts? What if my kid's just over here choking? And it's like, I don't know what to do. But now it's like, I have that, in our mind, like you said, our notches, I think we prioritize them. Our kid will always come first. Like with Nico, he always gets fed first. Exactly.
Yes. If one of the compartments or notches, as you call it, I like that too. If one of those goes red and like they're prioritized, okay, none of the other ones matter. Let me go over here.
Right.
And see what's going on over here.
Exactly. Like mine literally is Nico, make sure he's fed, make sure his diapers don't overflow, which thankfully I haven't had to deal with diaper rashes. Mommy brain.
Diaper rashes, yeah. You didn't have to deal with those a lot?
Nope.
That's good.
Yeah, the only time we really have a diaper rash is when he is like really trying to poop, and that's when he's constipated. So, but other than that,
yeah,
we're good.
That's good. Okay. I hear him talking over there.
Oh yeah, and then of course you have, like I said, the feeding, the diaper change, the clothing, the bath. Baths are definitely important. Like with Nico.
Man, were you terrified your first time giving him a bath?
Yes. Well, yes and no. Because when we first gave him a bath, he was screaming bloody murder. He's like, oh my God, Mom, I don't know what this is. I don't like this. But thankfully we obviously have our regular bathtub. He would have his own bathtub. And we actually, when he was newborn, we had a hammock that'd go over it. So he would just lay in it. So it was a lot easier. Now,
that's nice.
As he got bigger and he would transition into the bigger bathtub, that's what I was like, I I don't know about this. Like, oh, and you like to crawl and you like to touch everything and just be like, hey guys, and of course it scared me, but I was like, he's getting too big for the baby bath. You have to give your kid a bath. Because when he was younger, we had to deal with eczema. If no one knows what that means, it is pretty much just like a rash of dry skin or dry area. And you literally put lotion on it, and baths really help. Plus, after his bath, we always rub him down with lotion. Baby rub lotion to be exact. Love the smell. It's amazing.
Baby lotion is the best smell in the world.
Yeah. And then, of course, you still, as you give your baby a bath, I don't know any mom. Now, I want the moms to drop a green heart if you have done this, because I have a feeling most moms have. So after the bath, I feel like every mom has smelled their baby's head. Literally, and I don't mean just, not mean the real.
Are you serious? No, like I would put my whole face in their belly, like their belly, their head. When I'm nursing, like my nose would be there. Hell yeah.
Oh, yes.
Baby smell is the best, you guys. So, like, as a first-time mom, Rachel, how do you think you balanced taking care of a newborn? Not now. We'll do, like, toddler stage later. But, like, as a newborn baby, how did you balance, like, husband, house, stepchild? Like,
To be honest, it was really hard. Really hard. The first night he came home, Ashley, which is his godmother, she actually stayed the night. She slept downstairs with him because he had, in the pack and play, we had a little bassinet in the change table on the other side. She actually, the first night, she stayed with him, but then after that, it was all me. And Chris, he was good at it. He would stay up with me. So he would literally, he'd go to work the next day on he worked 6 to 8 hours. He'd be on like 2-3 hours of sleep. But for me, it was definitely a huge adjustment because you have this newborn and it literally is a shock to your system. You're like, holy shit, like what the fuck do I do? Okay, you're crying. I don't know your cries. What do you need? I just changed your diaper. It's not that. Oh, I just fed you. It's not that. Oh, I burped you. Not that. For Nico, it was hard too because when he was a newborn, we had a lot of spitting up.
shout out, Nico!
Who knows? But we had a lot of spitting up. So we had to go not only to his regular pediatrician or doctor, we also had to go to a specialist for stomach acid, which is why he was spitting up. So the first 6 months of his life, he was taking medicine for it. Which thankfully now he's great at taking medicine. But it was definitely a huge adjustment because when I would have both boys, I was stressed out even more. Like, then my postpartum would really kick in because I'm like, oh, I don't know, if I could do this. Because you have one over here, well, I don't have a lot and just blah, blah, blah. And then you have the newborn who's over here just, I'm like, I don't know what is going on. And it is very...
How did my life go from all about what I want to do to other people? And that's like, after I had my kid, I was like, bro, how was I not bored out of my mind before I had my kids? How was I not bored?
Right.
Because now everything I do is for my kids. Yeah. Every friggin' thing I do is for my family. So, like, it's a complete switch.
Yes. And I agree. Like, and it's, like, I remember, I have plenty of stories. I'm a good story time person. So if anyone needs stories, let me know. But I remember when he was a newborn, my biggest struggle was taking care of him and myself. Chris at that time understood that, he kind of did his own thing because he knew that I had to solely focus on myself and Nico. So there were times where I would eat. I would literally, every time he would sleep, I'd sleep with him, even though I had 3 options when he would sleep. I had to sleep myself, I either had to eat, or I had to get some shit done around the house. 95% of the time it was sleep.
That's all you can do.
Exactly. But there's times where literally I wouldn't eat for 2 days because I just,
wow.
I wasn't feeling it, and all my priorities would go to Nico, So it's definitely a huge, huge adjustment, for sure.
It really is. Yeah, guys, ladies, y'all are bomb.com. If you push that baby out, shout out to you because it gets real after that. It's all fun and games until that baby comes out, and then your life will literally change in seconds.
Oh yeah, because not only
Seconds.
are you, you're a first time mom, but on top of that, you're food deprived, you're sleep deprived, you're
You're
constantly.
already having to make all of these decisions, though, too, that you weren't aware of at the hospital. Like, they're coming in every 2 hours asking you, okay, do you want them to have these shots? Do you want them to be circumcised if they're a boy? You have to watch this video. So before you leave, you have to watch this video. You have to sign these papers. What the frig is the child's name?
Mhm.
Do you want the dad to sign on the birth certificate? Like, you're getting bombarded after you just went through all of this physical pain. You're like, and you're exhausted, and you have a whole new human being. It's like, bro, everybody get away from me.
Exactly. And then I know every mom, or really anybody, has went through the phase where you guys will fight a lot, like your significant other, or your baby daddy, or whatever he is to you or she is to you, baby mama, whatever way. But you guys tend to fight more, because me and Chris, we used to fight a lot, especially when Nico was first born, because like I'm sleep deprived, I'm exhausted, I don't know what to do with myself. There were times where I would not take a shower for like 2 weeks because I didn't know what to do, because I was a new mom. Now
Right.
I'm better at this now. But even like now,
It develops.
yes, like now when I shower, Chris is always home, or I'll do it before I go to bed because the Nico's already in bed. Because what we used to do, the first time, I remember the first time I ever took a shower, it's just me and Nico. I was like, oh, I don't know how to feel about this. Oh, so I took the bouncer upstairs, took the iPad upstairs, I put his show on, and I got, obviously I got in the shower. But it was so funny because I remember countless times I would peek out and be like, oh, you good? Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
Right?
Because I was freaking out. I was like, oh, is he good? This is weird. I don't know. Like, it's a whole new world.
It really is. And I like how you brought up the fighting with your significant other. Like I said, it's always fun and games before you have a baby where you can both do whatever you want to do for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
After the baby comes, it is not about either one of you anymore. So it is like you have to learn how to adapt to that lifestyle. And the guys don't get it a lot because they didn't go through 9 months of emotions, hormones, hunger, no hunger, physical pain. I remember laying in bed and my hips, I could feel my hips separating. Like, bro, do you know what that feels like? No, you don't. So get out of my face. Like, I would feel like my hips would be aching and hurting. And it's like, you can't understand what it is like to have a child unless you actually have one.
Right, right. And it's different too, like with other moms. I've heard stories about some moms will have, like the back contractions, or some will have like all around contractions, some will have just front contractions. I personally only had the back contractions, which was a bitch because,
They hurt.
yes, and of course you're
Well,
already,
they all hurt. But, like,
yes, like you're already exhausted because you're out to here. You can't shave your legs. You can barely, like, shit you not, when you tie your shoe or put your shoe on, you literally are out of breath because you're like, huh, and then you got wait a minute, and then okay, hang on.
like, no, no, no. There is no tying shoes toward the end of your pregnancy. You better get some flip flops or some
Mhm.
slippers, bitch, because
Yes.
no. I ain't trying to tie no shoes. Seriously.
Mhm.
You're right. I couldn't even bend over. No, like that hurt too much.
Exactly.
My back, no.
Like when I had to bend over and pick up things, I shit you not, I would go sideways. And it was very awkward, but I had to do it. Like, oh, I dropped the remote. Chris isn't here. Oh shit. Well, Nico,
Right? And that's
here.
like something you don't ever think about either is like I would always worry about the doctors when I had my baby because I'm like, I'm not shaving my legs. I'm definitely not shaving down there.
Right,
I
right.
can't see anything. I can't reach anything. You know what? Screw it. And then like you're in the middle of labor and they come in, you're in the middle of a contraction and they're like, do you mind if these medical students come in to observe their learning? And I'm like, what? Get out of my face.
Right.
Are you serious? No, I don't want people to see my like what?
Right.
You're gonna ask me now. You can't ask me before
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through all this. You're not gonna give me a heads up like, hey, medical students might be in here to look at your cooch,
Right. Right.
watch a baby pop out, watch you probably shit yourself because that's what they
Mm-hmm.
tell you. You take a shit and push them out.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
I'm just being open and honest here, you guys. Like, being a mom and going through it the first time is terrifying because I'm generally a very private person when it comes to my body.
mm.
So like after that experience though, it's like okay, I'm better. Like they had to physically break my water for me. I was invaded so many friggin' times as a pregnant woman. You
Mm-hmm.
are poked, prodded, invaded like no other. And so I have to just give my props and respect to women who have gone through these kind of things. I don't care who you are. You don't know what it's like until you go through it.
Mm-hmm. Like I remember, because we actually got induced the day before. It was, what day was it, Nico? Oh, cool. April 26th. We went in at 9:00 p.m. I got induced. We went through the process, and it was very awkward because they had to put this balloon that was about probably this big with medicine in your cooch. It's very uncomfortable. Now, funny story on top of that. I remember going pee, and it was close to about 5:00 in the morning. I remember going pee, and it was so funny because when you have it, the balloon, and I'm going in detail, but y'all be all right as far as being a mom.
What's up, Courtney? She came in at the perfect time.
Yes, but they have a tube. So, like, if your water would break or whatever, it doesn't go everywhere. But anyway, so Lil came out. So the nurse came in. I was like, do I have to put this balloon back in? Because it's very fucking uncomfortable, and I really don't want to do it. So she's like, no, it's fine. So she helped me back to the bed. Shit you not, I laid there for not even a minute, and my water burst all by itself. 5:00 in the morning. So, and I remember too, because then you go a little bit further after your water breaks. It was about, I think it was 10:45 when I started pushing, because I was only in labor for 45 minutes, thankfully.
Bro, I hate you.
But it was so funny because I remember the nurse, or no, the midwife or the nurse or whoever, they were like, oh, whenever you feel comfortable, go ahead and push. I was like, okay, I'm cool, I got this. So I started pushing by myself, and then she turns around and she's like, no, stop, wait. Like, you just told me to push, like I can't stop, like halfway push, half contraction, like, help here. So finally, I pushed a little more. I think it was like 2 more pushes, and then Nico was out. And it was just so funny because I was like, why would you tell me to go ahead when you feel comfortable to push? And then turn around like, no, wait, stop. Like, push them, stop.
I just say one thing, like, don't tell me when I'm comfortable, push. First of all, bitch, I'm not comfortable. I'm not going to be comfortable, okay? This stuff hurts. I'm not going to be comfortable. Like, what? And it was funny because I went in to be induced on a Monday morning. They induced me. I went all day. Nothing happened. All night. They put all kinds of stuff inside of me trying to make it happen. All this other, that, and the other. Invaded is what I call it. I was invaded like a mother.
IV in your arm, and then it like is because like
got the IV.
Yes, like that liquid is cold, and you're like shivering because you're pregnant on top of that, and the room temperature, the
you got this gown. So they're like that night, Monday night, they're like, why don't you just go for a walk? What, bro? So I had to I'm in a gown with no ass in it. I had to get up, try to take my IV stand with me. I got my IV stand in one hand. I got my other hand covering my ass, trying to keep my gown closed so nobody could see up in me, and like walking down the hallway. And then the next morning they came in and they're like, your doctor left, or well, he's not scheduled to be here today, so you're gonna have another doctor delivering. And I was like, what? No. Like, I started bawling my eyes out. Like, I was like, what? No, I need my doctor. He's the one that's been up there. He knows what's going on with me. Like, I don't want this other chick. I had seen this other lady doctor before, and she hurt me. Like, when she, like, check me the one time I had to like go in with her. So I was like, oh, hell no, like no.
Right.
And so he ended up staying at the hospital for my delivery. They put a cot out for him downstairs and he slept on the cot. And when I started to like get to the point where I could push finally, they had to go run. They were like, Hope, just wait. We got to go find your doctor so he could be in here. Wait. And I was just like, what? At this point, I'm like, it's been 2 days, y'all. No, like,
Mm-hmm.
where's he at? So he like came running in. He was like trying to put all of his clothes on. Like, so it was like a big hot mess. We were a big hot mess. And finally, like Noah wasn't born until like 7:44 Tuesday night. It was crazy.
Oh, I can imagine too. Like, especially it's hard when they tell you, like to go ahead and push, but then you have like all of that pressure down there because you know that's where their head is, and that's what happened to me. But they're like, oh, wait. It's like, listen, bitch. Like, I have this pressure down here that needs to fucking get released. Like, you don't understand. Like, it's very uncomfortable. And on top of that, I remember I went from being, when I got there, I was 2 centimeters dilated. I went from that to working on a 6 or 7 before I got my epidural. Mind you, the epidural faded as I'm pushing. So after I, delivered him, I felt it off. And then they had to push the placenta out. Oh, I felt it off. And then she had to put 3 stitches just because she could. And I was like, are you done? And of course I'm focusing on Nico because he's on my chest because I just had him. I was like, okay, focus on Nico, focus on Nico, focus on, oh no, it still fucking hurt. I ain't gonna forget it.
No, like when he was pushing on my stomach for the placenta to come out, that hurt just as much, bro. You're about to get punched in the throat. Seriously. Like, and then he had to do the same thing. He had to put stitches in. And I'm just like, it's over friggin' whelming. And women don't get enough credit for what they do to bring life into this world.
And then on top of that, not only do you did all of that, now with the couple of days that you stay there, they're just going to keep pushing on your stomach. And that shit, it don't, it doesn't feel good. Like, that shit hurts. Like, I remember.
And try going to the bathroom after you have a baby. Can we just like? I'm not gonna go into details, but like,
God, yes.
You have to like. I had a spray bottle that I had to spray up there every friggin' time I used the bathroom. Like, you guys, it is not pleasant and it friggin' hurts. Like, guys want to talk about how sensitive balls are? Are you serious? Like,
right.
Try going through this experience. It like. After that, I'm just like, bro, this child, I'm going to do everything I can for this thing. After all of that.
Yeah. Like, I had this spray too. Like, it was actually like this, I forget what exactly it was, but like you spray it up there and it stung like a bitch. I did the one time, I was like, no. So they gave me this other bottle. It was just for warm water. It literally, I still use that after my stitches healed. I was like, this is literally, I'm going to call it thebomb.com. It was so amazing. Because especially when you just had a kid and it cleanses down there. It's just like, on top of that, you have the stitches, so that hurts. It stings every time you pee, and it sucks because it's like, you can't not deal with the pain. Like, you had a baby, like, you have to push through it, you know what I mean? And some people,
nothing you can do but deal.
Like, some people don't have high tolerance pains. My favorite though was definitely the ice packs. I used those every day that I was in the hospital until I left. And I think I took one home and I was like, yeah, this ain't comfortable no more. I'll go stick to my bottle.
Right? No, that bottle, yeah. This is bringing back all kinds of old memories. My Noah's 9 now. So it's a lot different. I remember my doctor said he was pushing me down the hallway in a wheelchair once. And he was like, if it was up to men, we'd be one and done. After we felt that pain, we wouldn't be able to do it again. So like, and but yeah, you never forget that pain of labor. You don't. Like,
even the pain after. Like, I remember, I want to say it was, let's see, I had Nico on a Thursday, so it was that Friday. So Nico was 1 day old. I remember Ashley went to go, I think, take her son home, and she's going to come back by herself later. Oh, Chris went to go check on the house. So it was just me and Nico. And I remember he was laying in the little bassinet rolly thing as they give you. And I remember I was sitting on the bed. He was choking. And before this, I was trying, to get up and, get him. I was like, oh, it hurts too much. Oh, it hurts too much. So finally, I remember hearing him choking, and instantly, you don't feel the pain at all. Like you're super mommy is what I like to call it, because you get up in a spurts and don't even feel the pain. You get your kid.
You're not thinking about that.
Oh, but I felt it when I sat back down. That was the fun part, for sure.
Yeah, that's hard. When they're going through something like that, you don't even think about the pain. I still don't. Like I would do anything for those kids, you know that, but all right, girl, I'm gonna get off here. My phone's going nuts. And I'm excited for next week, though. We'll have to come up with our next topic. Just let me know. This was awesome. First time mom, shout out to you. Mom, share this video.
Yeah.
We're going to try to, here to support all the moms. We're going to be here to support anybody that just needs it. We, as moms, I feel like we need to come together. You know what I mean? And because we're the only ones that understand what it's like to be a mom.
Exactly.
Feel about it. Well, you have a good night, sis. I friggin' love you, woman.
Me too. Do you still want to do the question of the week?
Yes. Did you come up with one?
No, but we can figure one out real quick.
All right. Question of the week. Let's see. When you were growing up, how many kids did you envision yourself having? How many kids did you want?
True. It's a good question. So,
how many kids did you want growing up? Elaborate? Did you want twins, triplets? You ever think about that? Did you want a boy, girl?
Yeah. Did you want a girl first or a boy first?
Right.
We will definitely answer that
next week.
Yeah, next week.
Awesome. I'm excited. Write it down so we don't forget. And I'm going to get out of here, okay?
All right. Thank you.
I love you, woman.
I love you.
Mwah.
And thank you everyone else who popped in. Go ahead and share it, like Hope said, if just to kind of get it out there, to let all the moms know that they're not alone. And we will see you next week, Saturday, 5 o'clock.
Later.
Bye.